Hunter, I want to give you a quick demo of our interactive whiteboard that we received as part of our Steelcase grant. So this strip is called an icon strip, and as you can see, it is magnetic. And so you'll want to get this out of the equipment drawer and attach it to this magnetic whiteboard. This is a standard whiteboard that you can use regular markers on it. Of course, it won't be electronic activated and you won't be able to capture it. There's 3 icons at the top of the strip that are really super important. They set the mode that you're in when you're using the whiteboard. The first one is the mouse mode, the second one is the markup mode, and the third one, the whiteboard mode. So by pressing on the mouse mode, your stylus, for all intents and purposes, becomes a mouse. And you can use these different functions as you tap on them. But in a PowerPoint, for example, you can just use this as a mouse. Suppose you want to go into slideshow mode, you just tap on that, and now you're in slideshow mode. So while in the mouse mode, you can use any of your functions, as I mentioned. So for instance, if we want to insert a shape, let's say, we'll pick a rectangle. Now we've inserted that shape, and let's suppose that we want to write some text in there. We have a keyboard function on the icon strip, and we can go ahead and enter on that location. We can exit out of keyboard just by Xing it out, and now that has been entered into our PowerPoint. Now if you want to switch over to markup mode, you will press the second icon on the strip, and now you can see that I have the ability to mark this up. There's lots of functions along the icon strip that allow me to change the markup, so I can change the color. For instance, if I click here, I am now in blue. If I click here, I get a full palette. Now remember, when I am in markup mode, if I want to go back to mouse mode, I have to click that top icon. Let me go back into markup mode. Suppose I want to change the thickness. I can do that with these different icons. So now you can see I'm in a thicker markup mode. If I want to go to a finer one, I can do that as well. There's a way that I can save the stuff that I've marked by clicking on the save. It looks like a folder. There's a way that I can open up things that I've saved. So you can see here is something that I've saved previously. It actually goes into a folder called User Documents Eno. We have the ability to change that if we desire. But as you can see, I am still in the mouse mode. When I go back to the markup mode, that's when these other functions become available. There's also a highlight function. So as you can see, I've selected that, and now I can highlight various things. There's also the option to erase. So if I click on erase, you can see that I can erase the work that I've done. I also have the ability to get rid of everything that I've done by just hitting the trash can. Now I'd like to tell you about the last mode, which is called the Whiteboard Pages mode. So I'm going to click on that third icon, and you can see a 1 came up in the upper right-hand corner, and that's indicating that I'm on the first of 99 whiteboard pages that I can create. And so you can see when I'm in this mode, my stylus works as a pen, and I can write on the whiteboard. The neat thing about this is that I can do all of the functions that I've done previously with the marker. So I can go to different colors. I can use the highlighter. I can erase. All those things that we had talked about previously, but we have multiple pages. So I can just scroll ahead. If I use the right arrow, you can see now I'm at the second page. And I'm just going to write a big number 2 here. And if I scroll ahead, I'm now on the third page. I'll write that number on here. And I can navigate back and forth using the arrow keys. So now I'm back to 2. Now I'm back to the first one. We also set up one of the user-defined icons. You can see there's an icon that has a 1 and a 2 on it. The number 1 icon we set as the slide sorter. So you can see here, I have the ability to navigate through all of my slides. So I can select a various slide and move to that slide simply by double clicking on it, which will open up that slide. And then once again, I can return to the slide sorter by clicking on the number 1, which has been defined as the slide sorter. Suppose you've been doing a whole bunch of stuff, you don't really have an interest in keeping this stuff around. You have keys such as the select all key and then the delete key. Am I sure I want to delete all of those? Yes. And now those are all gone and I'm back to just the original single slide. Again, we talked about these 3 different modes: the mouse mode, first one, the markup mode with the second icon, and lastly the whiteboard mode. So you'll want to really get to know those as well. There's a few other keys down here that you might like to know about. I'm going to go back into the whiteboard mode so that we're on this PowerPoint slide. You can see there's something, I don't know what it's called, but it's a way to open up your slide, kind of fun stuff. There's also like a spotlight icon, so you can move that around to really highlight things. Not sure we'll use that a whole lot, but some other functionality. There is a settings button. For the most part, we'll leave that to our classroom technology staff to make these adjustments. But if you have something specific you want to try and accomplish, you might have a need to look at this, but certainly let us know. There is a help button that opens up the interactive whiteboard user guide that we also have a copy of in the classroom. And then lastly, this is the place where we actually get things set up. You may see this, but eventually this will go away as it recognizes that we've got everything in alignment. So hope this is helpful and good luck. Thank you.